A motorcycle is a smaller motor vehicle similar to a bicycle but usually larger and heavier, chiefly for one rider, but can have two saddles or an attached sidecar for passengers. The fact that motorcycles are greatly smaller than other vehicles on the road makes it much more harder to see while driving. Think about it. In Franklin County, we have a lot more larger trucks than we do than motorcycles as compared to Hamilton County or anywhere in a greater city. The larger the truck, the larger the blind spot. The larger the truck, the larger the blind spot. This makes the truck easier to miss seeing the motorcycle while driving. Over the course of this speech, I hope to bring awareness to this topic and to help you understand why opinions are so greatly divided on who is at fault for motorcycle accidents. The two main points I will be discussing today is who is at fault for the accident and the legalization of lane splitting. In order to bring awareness, we must face the facts. So who is really at fault for these accidents? Some may automatically say the motorcycle, while others would say it depends upon the situation. LegalInfo.com stated that statistics suggest what many believe to be true. Motorcycles are dangerous. Which may be true, but the general public should know that they can be dangerous because of their very nature, existing in the open without protective barriers between the rider and the outside elements on the road, not because of the way the motorcyclists have been trained to operate. On average, between 2,000 and 3,000 motorcyclists die each year in the U.S. Motorcyclist fatalities in the U.S. have been on the rise since the late 1990s, reaching a record high in 2007. However, one could say that those statistics did not take into consideration the motorcyclist not wearing a helmet. This is a big blame that gets put on the motorcyclist. However, there is a no motorcyclist law or motorcycle helmet law in only 3 states, Iowa, New Hampshire, and Illinois. Another issue regarding helmets is that hearing can become impaired due to the sound being streamlined when riding without a helmet. This makes the driver unaware of certain sounds around them. However, drivers say that wearing a helmet can be bothersome. It makes your head hot or sweaty, or it makes it heavier, or you look like you have a mushroom head. However, these are actual responses that motorcyclists give when asked the question, why don't you wear a helmet? The National Highway Safety Traffic Administration estimates that drivers not wearing a helmet are 40% more likely to die while riding and 15% more likely to incur a non-fatal injury. But helmets are not the only issue in today's world. As of August 19th of this year, California passed a law which allows riders to split lanes. Lane splitting is the overtaking of rows of slow or stopped vehicles by traveling between them. It is also called lane sharing, white lining, filtering, or stripe writing. California recently made this decision based on a recent study done at Berkeley. CycleWard.com states that the American Motorcyclist Association reported a new study by the University of California, Berkeley, showing that motorcyclists who split lanes in heavy traffic are significantly less likely to be struck from behind by other motorists and are less likely to suffer a head or torso injury. In fact, researchers led by Dr. Thomas Rice of Safe Truck reviewed nearly 6,000 motorcycles involved traffic collisions between June of 2012 and August of 2003, including 997 riders were splitting lanes at the time of the crash. Dr. Rice also said that lane splitting is safe if done in traffic moving in 50 miles per hour or less, if the motorcycles do not exceed the speed of any other vehicles by more than 15 miles per hour. Like stated before, a motorcycle is much smaller than a car, truck, or SUV on the road, again making them harder to see. So imagine this. You're a driver in a state where lane splitting is legal and you're sitting in traffic. You realize that you're in the wrong lane and you need to get over, but right as you're about to do so, a motorcycle zooms past you, nearly hitting you and almost causing an accident. You could have potentially been at fault because lane splitting is now legal due to researchers leading studies on how and why lane splitting is safer for motorcyclists. But it seems that they forgot to include other drivers' safety as well. So who's to say it is safe? Even if all these factors go into play, who's to say that lane splitting is safer than actually waiting in regular traffic? As a motorcyclist, you must be ready for any situation that may happen. But you also have to have hope. You have to hope that another driver isn't distracted by their phone or anything in the back seat. Hope that drivers are aware of motorcycles in general. Hope that your driver can actually see you when you're riding. The reason opinions are greatly divided on who is at fault for the cause of motorcycle accidents is because of how unaware the population is on this particular topic. Lane splitting may help reduce the risk of motorcycles being rear-ended, but does it actually make drivers safer too? Some people are aware of the motorcyclists on the road, but there is so much of the population that are blind to them as well. So look twice and save a life, regardless of the state and the laws passed.
So, from my understanding, to get your permit, all you have to do is take the written, pass the written, then you can drive by yourself. You have to have a helmet, and then you can't drive at night, right? Is that how it is?
To my understanding, yes. In the state of Indiana.
Yeah. Do you think that's like one of the reasons that there's so many wrecks? Because all you have to do is take your written to get your license. You have to wait. You have that year to get your license, but how do you know that they're not prepared? Because all they did was write on it.
You have to take a driving test as well.
For the permit?
Yeah.
I thought that's for your license. Yeah, you got 1 year to take your license.
I mean, my dad drives a
Yeah.
motorcycle, so I mean, I know the motorcycle test is not easy whatsoever.
Yeah.
He failed it twice before he actually passed. He did say that he did have to take a rider's test, but I'm not sure when he actually had to take that. Nick?
How many people did you say die per year in motorcycle accidents?
3,000 per year.
Okay.
So right now, I've seen before, like on the interstate, that if you're driving and there's not necessarily a lot of traffic, but it's pretty heavy, if like motorcycles go in between two cars, like to get around, is that illegal? Right
It
now?
depends upon the state. So that is what Berkeley has done their research on, saying that if they are driving in the middle of those lanes, that's what lane splitting is.
Okay.
It reduces the risk of the motorcycle being rear-ended and suffering torso and head injuries.
Okay,
But, like I said, it doesn't actually make the other drivers safer as well.
right, because it's cutting in between listeners, okay.
What states did you say had the no helmet law?
Illinois, Iowa, and New Hampshire.
So does that mean Indiana does now? Because I know
No,
they didn't.
you have to wear a helmet when you have your permit, but you don't have to wear a helmet when you have your license.
Okay, I was saying, because
You
I know
make
like
that decision.
Tennessee, you have to have a helmet on, but in
Yeah,
Indiana,
there are
you don't.
28 states that require you to wear a helmet and 19 states which are like Indiana where you have to
If
wear a
you're
helmet when
looking
you have
for
your permit, yeah.
Do you believe that lane splitting is a good or bad?
In my opinion, I don't think that it's actually a safer thing. I mean, yes, it reduces the risk of motorcyclists being rear-ended, but if the population is aware of the motorcyclists in front of them or around them, then I don't think that they would actually be rear-ended. So.
All right.